Hello, welcome to Sportscast Podcast, episode 16. This week we look back at the international fixtures that have happened over the past couple of days, as well as some of League One and League Two in the English Division football. Rugby Union World Cup is currently underway. We'll be breaking down the first couple of days and a look forward to what's to come. A look back at the US Open, which finishes today, and looking forward to the Ryder Cup squads.
Another week of sport, one without Formula One. How have you found it?
We've just had two back to back. I don't feel as aggrieved when we have had two kind of back to back races, and it is quite a stint, isn't it, to go from Monza to Singapore? So not too bad. Mr. Prem?
I have. I like my Championship football more than anything, and the Premier League at the minute, it's not straightforward, but there's only, there's two teams for the top, teams, maybe three teams that are going for top, the rest of the top four places, and a couple of teams that are sat at the bottom. There's not this bottom beaten top that you sort of used to see in the olden days. There's a bit more of a divide now, but we've had some internationals. There's been quite a bit go on throughout the lower leagues. England went 1-0 down to Ukraine, and then Kyle Walker scored an equaliser. That is Kyle Walker's first international goal for England in 77 games.
Really?
So, it made me think, who else has maybe gone, such a career, never scoring for the nation? And I know he's a defender, but plenty of defenders score. John Terry scored nearly 20 goals in a Premier League season before. So,
and he's quick as well. Like, that's always on his side.
Yeah.
He's generally one to whip up and down a wing. So
you'd think he'd get something. So I had a quick look at who else has played an extensive amount of games internationally without scoring a goal. Mm-hmm. And Ashley Cole, England left back, is on this list, top of this list. How many games do you think he played for England and never scored?
Three figures? 110.
Oh, close. 107.
Ooh.
But again, another player that was so pivotal in those times. And you think as well, they've been playing teams like, Macedonia and, Uzbekistan and, these Gibraltar, where they're winning 10-0. You'd think that they might get an opportunity, but never happened. Also in England's group, North Macedonia drew with Italy 1-1.
I saw that.
Huge
saw that
result for North Macedonia, and they didn't get by with the skin of the teeth. Italy had a few attempts to hit the post. Notts County have gone top of League Two after a 1-1 draw with MK Don. Notts County are off the top of the League Two after a 1-1 draw with MK Dons. Gillingham go top with a 1-0 win against Harrogate. There was two really funny points coming from the lower leagues. In the 65th minute, Scunthorpe was 1-0 up against Buxton in the National League North. Scunthorpe had a terrible couple of years in the National League North now. Mm-hmm. Buxton came back and was 2-1 ahead. And in the 95th minute of the game, you saw the weather yesterday afternoon at 5 o'clock, torrential. Mm-hmm. The referee's blown. Both teams have put it out there, tweeted, we've taken the 3 points today. Scunthorpe saying, congratulations to Buxton, blah, blah, blah. And the referee abandoned the game. He didn't call for full time. 95th minute, abandoned the game.
No way. Well, there can't have been that many more added minutes.
There was only 4 minutes of added time. They're in the 95th.
Wow.
And he's abandoned the game. So that was quite funny. And the other one was in the Halifax game. The ball's gone out, the corner, he's overhit it, gone out for a throw. Halifax player's going over to the side, and the referee's flung his arm out and smacked the Halifax player in the eye, and he's sort of gone like that, sort of to try and bat it away and hit the referee. The referee sent him off.
Wow. Okay.
The player's on the floor because he's just been whacked in the face, and he's been sent off.
That's why
sent
he's a
off
League
because he
Two
got.
ref.
I think Halifax conference.
Conference?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
That's why he's a very low league.
Yeah, but absolutely
playing for KFC vouchers.
Yeah.
Did you see a couple of things from me? Did you see Hansi Flick, who is the Germany manager, Germany international team manager? 4-1 loss to Japan, sacked today or yesterday? Today.
Yeah.
They've not had a great. To say Germany have been a dominant. When as I was growing up, Germany have always been dominant in men's international football. Lost 4-1 to Japan yesterday. Sorry. Out in the groups in 2022 World Cup, and then I've had a string of defeats to Colombia, Belgium and Poland. It's the right decision.
Yep.
They can't continue to go down the route that they are. But
did you know
Euros next year,
that was the first time Germany has sacked a manager since 1926.
Really?
Which is when they first started having managers for the national team.
No way.
So it's the first ever German manager to be sacked.
It's full of really useful information.
I don't get out much.
Second thing for me, Piers Morgan Uncensored, which is an unusual topic to bring up on a sports podcast. However, he had an interview with Cristiano Ronaldo recently. I don't know if you've caught this.
I've seen an old one.
So it happened this week.
Right.
Where he said that the rivalry with Lionel Messi is obviously over now. They're in different leagues, but what they've done for football as a generational thing is unrivaled, is unmatched.
Oh, without a doubt.
I was just going to say, what do you think about that? They've both said that they've got a deep level of respect for one another. It's nice to see that such a, not necessarily a bitter rivalry, but when they played for opposing Spanish teams.
But Ronaldo moved on to Juve, he went back to United and things. And Messi went to PSG, so they've not necessarily. They only had a stint in the same league. I think the problem you've got two different types of players. So I think growing up, we're too young for the George Bests.
Yeah,
we're probably the Zidane and R9 Ronaldo, but they were sensational in their own right, but you've never had two players stand out so much. And what they have done for the game, I mean, they've been able to provide great debate for many a football fan who's better, Ronaldo or Messi. And I think this just boils down to a personal opinion of what style of football you like. I've always liked Barcelona's style of football. They'll keep the ball on the floor, quick, intricate passing.
Tiki-taka.
I'm a Messi fan. Yeah.
Tiki-taka. Love it.
I'm a Messi fan. But you can't take away that Ronaldo scored 46 goals at the age of 47 goals at the age of 36 in the league that he was in, and it's just incomprehensible.
It's definitely an entire podcast worth of content to discuss Messi versus Ronaldo.
Definitely. The Rugby World Cup started Friday night with the hosts France stunning New Zealand 27-13. New Zealand they're not necessarily going through a transitional stage, but they're not in a great patch at the minute. Lost to Argentina, lost to Ireland, lost to South Africa a couple of times over the summer, and then losing to France in the opening game. They'll still go through the group. That's not a problem. Italy beat Nambia 52-8. Ireland beat Romania 82-8.
82-8.
Yeah.
Nice.
Aussies beat Georgia 35-15. Quite a strong performance from Georgia there. Bit of a worry as a Welshman. Fiji and Georgia in the group. Wales play Fiji tonight. Tough game. England played Argentina yesterday, and what a game that was. England winning 27-10 in a game where England had a mad sent off in the second minute of the game, and a bit of dubious people arguing that it wasn't, but ultimately they held the game, and the way Ford managed the game at 10 was incredible. Everyone saying this is, it was almost 2003-esque when they won the World Cup. It wasn't, because the argument is you had a forward sent off, you created nothing. The reason why they kept having a drop goal was because they created nothing. Japan beat Chile 42-12 today, and South Africa overcomes Scotland 18-3. Very tight game, but 2 very quick tries. Tennis, US Open.
Men's, as we're currently recording, the men's will be kicking off shortly. Obviously, because of the time difference, we're not able to bring you the result right now. However, the women's, Coco Gauff, 19 years old,
Out of round 1 in Wimbledon.
Out of round 1 in Wimbledon, wins her first major and brings her to 6 WTA singles titles overall.
I think she'll be a player to watch.
I agree.
I've seen a thing of videos of her age 8 at the US Open on the court afterwards, and sort of soaking it in, and 11 years later you're winning the title there. She's won a couple of, in the last 6 weeks or so, she's won a couple of WTA titles. People are like, this is as good as it's going to get for you. And then to go out and win the US, a month later is incredible.
Yeah, definitely. Comparable to our British Emma Raducanu, she has obviously only won the one career title, which was the US Open this time last year, wasn't it? Or 2 years ago?
2 years ago.
2 years ago, maybe. So Goff has got sort of more wins under her belt. She looks more convincing on court. She looks like the stronger athlete. She definitely is one to watch. I think Emma Raducanu hasn't necessarily done anything much since
She's been very injured since, but to be very injured at that age is her worry.
Yeah.
Djokovic against Medvedev tonight. Medvedev beat Alcaraz in 4 sets in the semis.
Yeah.
And this is a repeat of the 2021 final in which Djokovic lost. So he's probably not to take this one lightly, and got to bring his A game.
I think the men's game is a little bit more open in recent, last couple of years. Obviously closed in the last couple of years, but it's become more open now.
Yeah, with Federer and Nadal retiring.
Exactly, yeah. And there was that kind of period where Federer and Nadal retired, or Federer continued to play, and he was getting older, but Djokovic dominated for probably since 2018, 17, 18?
Yeah, I'd say so. He's won plenty over the years, but really started to take a hold of everything.
Yeah, and then now you're starting to see Medvedev and Alcaraz and all the others, coming through and challenging, and it's good. It's good for tennis.
I think, I can see Alcaraz though taking at least a couple of majors every year for a number of years.
Yeah,
I really can. I think he's going to be the next generational player.
Yeah,
we've been blessed to have Djokovic, Federer, and Nadal in the same era. If you was to take those 3 out of the last 15 years, I do think the best player in those 15 years has been Andy Murray.
Yeah,
and it's just unfortunate that he's been the greatest British tennis player of all time in an era that's had 3 of the 4 greatest ever players.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
In what order you put them in?
Yeah.
Just who knows, but the Ryder Cup starts at the end of this month.
Love the Ryder Cup.
And I cannot wait.
I don't generally watch a lot of golf because I haven't got 4 days to spare. However, the Ryder Cup is something that I do enjoy watching. Really, really good.
I massively look forward to it. Luke Donald is captain of the European team this year. He has picked Matt Fitzpatrick, Tommy Fleetwood, Victor Hovland, Tyrone Hatton, Hoggard, McIlroy, Shane Lowry, John Ram, Robert McIntyre, Justin Rose, and Straka. I think within there, I think you're going to be missing the likes of Poulter and Westwood, the players that have always done very well in there. But you've got John Rahm and Hovland, which are probably 2 of the 5 most informed players. And McIlroy, considering he's been there and thereabouts, he dropped a little bit lower today in the Irish Open. He was going in 3rd place, and he come tied 7th with Norman winning by a shot. But again, Shane Lowry is up there, tied for third. So, there's players that are going into this in form. So,
I don't know. There are the two names that jump out are obviously Victor Hovland.
John Rahm
and John, yeah, sorry,
I'll give you three.
John Rahm and Victor Hovland for me. Those are the two names that stand out. Whereas the US team just seems to have more strength across its core, if you know what I mean. So you've got some really, really consistent names, and I know those two have been consistently good, but these guys have been consistently top 15 in every weekend for the past 12 months.
And I don't know. It's in Italy. There's, Ricky Fowler's in there. He's not been great. Brian Harman's a good player, pretty consistent. You obviously got Koepka, Marukaka, who's not really won much. Koepka, Anders Schauffele, Scotty Scheffler, who are probably the three in form. Justin Thomas can turn it on, and Jordan Spieth's a solid player. So there's probably bigger names, if you like, but I just can't see. I don't know. It's in Italy. I was just thinking these things when it's pretty close like that. I think home form wins.
Yeah. The Ryder Cup does bring a lot of travelling fans, to be fair.
Yeah.
So you've got obviously European fans. It's not necessarily a million miles out of reach, whereas the US is a 4,000 mile flight. But it never ever deters
No.
the travelling fans.
No.